thyrocervical artery. Oh my God.
Facial.
Yeah, facial. Very good. But which one? It's going to the front, so it's the
Superior.
anterior. Well, that's good enough. You know, but it's called anterior. It's going to the anterior of the face, the front. And then this one goes to the back. So it's going to be posterior, this one right here. So anterior facial vein, posterior facial vein. This one that goes across.
Transverse jugular.
Yes, exactly. Transverse jugular vein. She knows. Jenny Emmons is rocking.
There you go, Miss Jenny. I don't know any of them. That's why I'm just like.
Yeah, what about this?
That's the external.
External jugular vein. Yes, yes, yes. Excellent. What about this? Silence. I hear silence. Common carotid artery. Common carotid artery. Okay? Also, so is this common carotid artery. Okay? My excellent friend. So the external jugular comes all the way down here. Boom. What's this? This one right here. This big blue branch here.
Something vein.
Yeah. You're right. You're getting more. That's the brachiocephalic vein. Brachiocephalic vein. Okay? Brachiocephalic vein. What about this big one here? This one you can't miss it. You can't
Superior
get
vena cava.
Of course. Superior vena cava splits into the brachiocephalic vein. And then the brachiocephalic vein splits into the external jugular vein. And this one, which is the? Starts with an S.
Left.
Starts with an S. Sub, like a sub. You go to Subway? Subclavian
Subclavian.
vein. Man, I had to just give it to you. Okay? So this is the subclavian. And then when it splits here now, it becomes the axillary. Okay? And then the other branch is going to the, subscapular artery and vein. You see these two? Subscapular artery and vein. And then it proceeds as the axillary until it gets to the armpit. See here? From here onwards, it's the brachial artery and vein. Okay? But I usually point to either the artery or the vein, and you say brachial artery, and then for the other one, you say brachial vein. Okay? Like that. You see? These two. Brachial artery, brachial vein. This is the transverse scapula. No. This is the subscapular going to the subscapularis behind the scapula. And this one here is the transverse scapular vein and artery right here. Okay? Is a branch here. And this here is what I was showing you earlier on, the thyrocervical artery. You see? It runs alongside here. And it's a branch of this, which is the subclavian, right? And it's on the left side. So this will be the left subclavian artery. Okay? And then the left subclavian artery gives rise to this internal mammary artery. Okay? And then it goes back here. It becomes the axillary artery. Okay? And then it splits into the subscapular artery here, and then continues as the brachial artery over here. Okay? And then so actually the subclavian comes straight like that, and then it splits into the subscapular artery, and then of course the subscapular vein, and then just at that branch it becomes the axillary, and then once it reaches the armpit, and it will be obvious in the exam, it's no longer the axillary, it becomes brachial once it gets into the arm. Okay, artery, and then the other one is the vein. Okay, so the subclavian kind of comes like that, then splits, and then the subclavian gives rise to the internal mammary. It gives rise to this, which is the thyrocervical, which continues under here, thyrocervical, and this is the transverse scapula, which goes to the trapezius muscle and the transverse scapular vein here. Okay, and this is the internal mammary vein. Okay, internal mammary vein. This goes to the it's on this thing here, like so, you know. So these are them that supplies the breast, and you know. And then this, of course, is the superior vena cava, and then this is the right subclavian artery. Okay, this is the common carotid artery on the right side. But for the common carotid, and you know, on the left and right, you don't have to say left and right. Just say common carotid. I'm good with that. Okay, but for this, you've got to say right subclavian artery, and this you've got to say left subclavian artery. Okay, right, and this is the brachiocephalic artery, right? And then this right here is the, do you see the aortic arc arcing down? You see it, my good friends? The aortic arc, and then it becomes the descending aorta or the thoracic aorta before it crosses the diaphragm. And that's when I said it makes an impression on the mediastinal side of the left, lung. Okay, and then this is the one that has some sort of tumor here. Do you see this? And the I think the thing it grew up in there and got attached. You see, this is on a normal cat. You can see they asked about it in the morning. This is the gallbladder in the liver. And this cat, for some reason, you see, this is the right lobe. You see, oh, this is the right lobe. It kind of grew up here, and then it grew something. It had problems with this cat. Okay, and it's attaching the diaphragm to the liver. You see how the diaphragm is free here? It's only attached in the middle here. Okay, you see how it's free, and the liver is free, but here it's all attached. Anyway, so that's that, and we did all that, right? And then we did all that. So we come here, okay? Are we good? We're good for time. So we start with this one right here, which is the hepatic portal vein. Hepatic portal vein is this one. You see that? Hepatic portal vein. Okay, and then this one right here would be the anterior pancreatico duodenal vein. You see, this is the duodenum, this is the pancreas. You see this lobular thing. This is the superior mesenteric vein. This is the gastrosplenic vein. Okay, draining the stomach and the spleen. And then this is the celiac trunk. See this one, the red one is the celiac trunk. Okay, and this is the hepatic artery, and this is the splenic artery right here. It's only that the gastric one didn't get well infused. Okay, so for some reason it just got messed up. So that's why I like to do it on this one. Do you see this one? You see how it's easy on this one? And the pictures on our website are pretty good for that. Okay, do you see how we have the celiac trunk here? You've got the hepatic here. You see that? Hepatic. And then we've got the gastric here. And then we've got over here the splenic. You see how nice three branches? It comes out like that. And then there's the celiac trunk in those three. Okay? Right there. But here, for some reason, we got stiffed. So that's okay. But it's got the rest of them though. And then this is the superior mesenteric artery. Okay? Renal artery. Renal vein on this side is not so good, but on this side is good. So you got the renal vein here, and then you got the renal artery here too. You see, those are the two right here. Okay, and then you got the inferior vena cava, abdominal aorta, internal ovarian artery. Okay, and then here you've got the iliolumbar vein. You're supposed to get the artery, but that artery didn't get infused. Do you see it? You see, iliolumbar vein. It's right on top of the renal vein and the renal artery here. Okay, it supplies the adrenal gland right on top of the kidney. See, there's the kidney, and you could see there's the renal artery, and then you can see here this is lower than that. So the right lung is kind of above, for the most part, even in humans.
That's kidney.
I mean, kidney. Sorry. Oh, kidney. Did I say heart? I said heart.
You said a lung.
Lung? Oh shoot. Whatever. But this is definitely a kidney. Okay. This is the renal artery, renal, vein, and renal artery on this side. Okay. Trying to rush it up. Yeah. Not a lung for sure. And this is the inferior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric vein, inferior mesenteric vein. Okay, and then this is the posterior pancreatico-duodenal vein. Okay, and then this is the I said inferior, and then starting with the doubles, this is the ilio.
Can you move that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this would be the on this side. See how these two are together like that? The iliolumbar artery and vein, iliolumbar artery and vein on this side. Okay. iliolumbar artery and vein. This is one of those new ones we do two together. Okay, and this will be the, this is the common iliac vein. Okay, and yeah, common iliac vein, and this is the external iliac artery, internal iliac artery on this side, on the right side, and on the left side. And then this continues as the caudofemoral artery and vein. You see how the caudofemoral artery and vein kind of goes in there. See how it's like a T, and then there's that. Okay, then when you get up to here, okay, you can see there's the inferior mesenteric. So if I had to do that, you could see this right here, which is the internal iliac vein. Okay, right at that split, this now becomes the external iliac vein right here, and I can even put this like that. Okay, so this is still the external iliac artery, and then after this split to form this internal iliac vein, this is now the external iliac vein. Up here would be common iliac vein. Okay, then here we have the blue part. The vein is not well infused. You can just see a little bit of streaks of blue, but this is the deep femoral artery and vein. It's another one that I usually label together. I just put the arrow in between the blue and the red. In this case, the blue wasn't coming out nicely, but on the website, it came out excellent. So deep femoral artery and vein, and these two, sometimes I can take this one by itself, and you will see it will be very obvious. Then you say femoral artery, and then if this is by itself, femoral vein. But sometimes in some cases they're not very separate, and I just put the arrow between the two. Then you'd say deep femoral artery and vein. But in this case and most of the other pictures, they're nice and separate. I can easily point to this one and you say femoral vein, and then I point to that one and you say femoral artery. And it, in the exam, like I say again, it will be very obvious. This here will be the proximal caudofemoral artery and vein, not on the list. Okay, and then here the femoral artery and vein split into this saphenous artery and vein. See, the artery is not that well infused, but you can actually see the red, and this is the saphenous. Sometimes they call it the great saphenous, but saphenous artery and vein is just perfect. And then this is the continues to the knee is the popliteal artery and vein. These two, popliteal artery and vein, and that's it for the whole